Religion stands in front of the door to heaven and says, you cannot enter unless you die. But Jesus already went into hell to retrieve the keys of death and gave them to you so you may enter through that door now. Now, today, every day, enter through that door. Once you really enter through that door, you don't need to enter again and again because you're already there. Just come into the awareness that you are already in the light with Him, because that's where you are, with Him, one with Him. Where He is, there you are also. We have already died to the law that bound us to sin and death. We already died to the law of sin and death. That law told us that we had to die. So therefore we died. In Christ Jesus, in the grave, we died with Him, but He resurrected us out of that grave into life now. He translated us into the kingdom of light. So you could divorce yourself from that old covenant you were bound in. The only way to divorce yourself is through death. And Jesus died on the cross so He could go to the grave and resurrect, not for Himself, but for you. He passed through it all to identify Himself with you. Sin, death, guilt, condemnation, poverty, sickness, lowliness. So He could, as you, take you out of that hell, out of that pointless dark grave you were covenanted with. You divorced that covenant by His blood signature, paying the price to set you free from the ransom, holding you to it, binding you to that death. When you die with Him in that grave of water, you also resurrect in Him, as Him. You see, you're left in the grave. You see that you are left in the grave. It's your old self. It is no longer you who live. You died. It's Christ that's giving you life now. The only reason you're alive now is because Christ is sustaining you with His life. It is His life that actually sustains you. So now, because you died to your old self, the things of the world have no interest to you, because according to the world, you're already dead. You cannot find yourself, your old self, because it's already in the grave, where you're left behind. The lines that connected you to the world have been cut off. He's got a silver cord of His life connected to your life, your spirit, your soul, your mind, your heart. So once you realize you are sustained because of Him, you can start receiving more of His life, which is the light of life. The lines to the old way of yourself have been cut off. Those interests were not you. The old interests were not you. They were of the world. That's how you know that they were not of you, but of the world. Because they have been cut off from you. The things that interested you once no longer have any interest in you at all. You are not interested in them at all. Because now you died to them. Your old self died to them. They were of the world. That's why there's no connection or interest to them anymore, because the signal has been cut off. It doesn't reach you anymore. But now the new signal, the life connected, the life connection to Jesus Christ and the kingdom of heaven, the things of heaven has been established. They have been connected. They have been made in your life. The new connection is made, and that is the same connection and the hunger, the interest, the desire of life that Jesus Christ Himself gave you when you were resurrected with Him out of that watery grave And He gives you the new connections, the new hungers, the new interests, the new desires for the things of the kingdom of heaven. You are sustained through Him. You breathe His breath. The breath He breathes, you are breathing. You are one with His breath. The same inheritance He has, you have now, because He let you become with Him. Because of the infinite love of the Father, the blood He has, you have. The blood, that congealed light